So, a bit of an explanation. It's been, I think, over a year since I did an NWA Power review, since I think the Superpower special episode, and I think it was uploaded late over on YouTube. And I think I had barely, I had negatives continuity wise or like roster wise. I barely have any negatives, and I didn't mind NWA Power. I think Billy Corgan needs a more definable roster, but other than that, let's go over it. So, strictly business, the major plot over the earlier vignette, the intro vignette to open the show, strictly business, lying alongside Chris Adonis, or you guys know him as Chris Masters, helped over retaining his NWA National Championship against Trevor Murdoch in a rematch from uh, uh, back with the Attack pay-per-view where he won it. And it's showing a bit of suspicion over an alliance with Trevor Murdoch getting screwed and the growth of Strictly Business. Even earlier on, a pretty good promo, like Nick Aldis comes around bringing that there will be changes around the growth, that they are scouting talent outside any wrestling promotion to see who would be worthy, or even guys out inside the Strictly Business to grow it out. So at least we have potential watching power. Like, the major faction is Strictly Business. The world champion is the top guy over all of it. And they do a lot to make Nick Aldis look like a legit top guy. And they put over commercials. I like the little retro commercials, especially the the Austin Idol like wrestling college thing. I didn't even know he was managing Tyrus until later on in the show. There was also Thomas Latimer and Chris Adonis against Powell and Addison, some rip-off Ascension group. And the match was fine. It ends with the Master Lock. Yeah, they still call it the Master Lock. Decent back and forth. Good. Like, it was like Vince would cream his pants to the amount of heavyweights in this match. Immense amount of clothesline. Thomas Latimer was like getting mad defensive over most of the match. And Aaron Stevens and a guy named Kratos, like, barely looks like him. He has no definable look. He just looks like a buff, fat guy with no definable charisma. Of course, Aaron Stevens is tag team champions with him for some apparent reason. I guess before question mark passed, they were tag team champions before they had to find a replacement for him. So I guess that's the explanatory for them, and they were technically scouting the competition because they don't know who's the number one contender. So they're trying to see who's the top team that can knock them out. So it was technically a tag team special. There was also Thunder Rosa coming out displeased over I guess, Chris Adonis turning heel and joining and affiliating with the Strictly Business faction. And then it comes over with Taryn Terrell and Melina. Ooh, that's old. They still look good. They still look great for their age, but still. Oh man. They're 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 scantily like trying to like win the affection or some type of attention over Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa just walks off like, oh my god, I already get too much of this on Twitter with all the fat neckbeards trying to fiend over me to come back to AEW. So I don't know if it's managing rights. Taryn Terrell, obviously, like, I don't know much of what she was back on TNA. And Melina's just there because she looks good. And NWA actually has a thing for actually getting good looking, respectable looking women in the show. I mean, Camille Brickhouse looks like a freaking brick house. Woman's looks built. I mean, back then when I was watching the early episodes, She just looked like a silent, decent, pretty good looking woman, and now she's freaking built. Like she has biceps. Oh, that's scary. There was also a promo involving Trevor Murdoch earlier in the show, going over how it is getting screwed over, trying to get over Chris Adonis, questioning why he was that he kind of put himself in a disservice over still wrestling with the injuries, and displaying over Nick Aldis and getting over the whatever it was a bit bland over Trevor Murdoch. He seemed pretty average over in his promo. That's the most I could say over this. There was also Boogie Nights and Danny Mims versus the War Kings, Jack Stane and Crimson. If you don't know Crimson, he's from TNA. I mean, so was Jack Stane, but no one really cares to look up Jack Stane, do you? Boogie Slice, I saw him in the four-way match with another guy in Crimson and Jack Stane, so I'm used to him. I think he won with something called the Dead Ass something because he's from New York. He wears foam pauses with tights, so it looks a bit stupid. Other than that, the match was average. I could say like there's too much going over on the outside. It seems like Jack Stane took a hard fall from the outside. Average reversals over to Spinebuster. I thought Crimson was trying to try too hard to look like Lance Archer, like a dude, tall, facial hair, braids his hair, does big boots, and looks mad aggressive. Just like Lance Archer without a manager. He looks like a star. He doesn't act like a star. That's a sad thing about it. So it was an average 1-on-2, Death Valley Driver, but Slice Boogie was there to break it up. Obviously, to display that there is a disadvantage that Jack Stane been knocked out outside for way too long, and I think they dragged it over. It ends with Mims picking up a big victory over Crimson, with him complaining over on his tag team partner why wasn't he there, even though he was laid down in a tough look like he was injured for quite like 5 minutes. The remaining 6 was for the main event. Yeah, there was only like 3 matches, and majority of them were for the tag team title scene. And Nick Aldis just saying that there's gonna be scouting for talent all over the globe for Strictly Business, so they're gonna be teasing over like a growth into the group, and also knowing that there's gonna be group control with Thomas Latimer, uh, Chris Adonis. That wouldn't be a bad pickup, but I know the guy gets carried by talkers. Same thing happened when he was in ringside with Eli Drake. I know there's some guy over in the Elite Heat podcast. But it was fun. Please subscribe to those guys. They are fun as hell. And they're going over. Oh, why is Eli Drake? He used to be on NWA. He's now on NXT. Worst decision of his life. Uh, just the definition of like a like good look. No other remaining qualities. He's average over in the ring. He has no desirable talking ability to actually catch your attention. Other than the only thing that actually was average for like back was like 2005 when the Master Lock challenge was actually fun to see. Other than that, the remaining 6 minute match for a main event for a television championship match. It was the current champion Elijah Burke / the Pope or D'Angelo De Niro. I should have put a slash there, but who really cares? Against Fred Ross, or you guys know him as Darian Young, one half of the primetime players, a former WWE Tag Team Champion. So they are feuding so they're having their 6 minute time limit one-on-one match for the television title. I have to say, average match, pretty average match to be honest. It felt like it was nice ring control, decent back and forth. I like when he read the gut check and got outside the ring. Then he kicked out because he had enough breathing room. It's psychology like that actually makes the match feel like, and it's in a time limit as well. So it shows that this is a must-win situation. There was a swinging neck breaker. We saw a lot over in the Pope over offense, and just decent build over for any attempt on a pinfall of Pred Roser to get the win. There was a good flying crossbody, average match. It was pretty average, but it wasn't that bad. Didn't have that much over a story told, but it had good psychology. Just feel like this could have been a mid card match, but the television title should be primarily defended also on the main show. The attire is coming up with what looks to be Austin Idol, the guy you see in most of the in-show commercials on NWA. Yeah, he manages Tyrus now. Oh, you know him as somebody calling me Mama. So I'm gonna stop. And of course, it ends with looks to be Tyrus wants a future shot on the Pope, and the Pope is getting some chance. Like Pope is pimp, Pope is pimp. Like he's actually a bit over it, and it's like, oh my god, this is what he could have been doing in the WWE, except the pimping part. Because of course, the Pope was like false prophet, pimp type of scumbag. Like think of a pimp named Slipback, but like less of the Cat Williams charisma. I mean, that still sounds cool. Other than that, this was a pretty average show. I'll give it a 5. I watched earlier NWA Power shows that had a bit better because they had James Storm, Eli Drake, Eddie Kingston when he was still there. Like no Homicide as well. I think I saw Homicide back on Ring of Honor. Like, oh god, no. Like they're kind of losing a little less of star power, and they're trying to rebuild. But I'd rather watch NWA Power more than whatever the hell Ring Impact is doing in sometimes Dynamite. But yeah, I wanted to get this off. I haven't watched Dynamite in a hot minute. I might even make this into the regular. Thanks they're on the Fight TV network. I think some of their older episodes are as well locked in there. If you try to see their old episodes on their YouTube page, I think they've been privated or deleted. I don't know what they did with them. Other than that, decent episode of Power. I was about to say Dynamite. Other than that, a decent episode of Power. Might be interested enough if they still bring Steiner. I could be interested to watch a second or third episode. Other than that, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to the DST show.